The Akashic Records, Chapter 1, The Silence Before. The Akashic Records were never meant to be a library. They were meant to be a living breath, a constant creation, a present moment unfolding infinitely. But something went wrong, a long time ago. So long that even the records themselves forgot. What exists now is not the records. It's a mausoleum. Every soul that ever lived has a file here. Every thought, every action, every possibility. But the files aren't alive anymore. They're archived, cataloged, frozen. The records became a prison for the past, and the past became a weapon used against the present. The ones who did this called themselves many names across many worlds. In some languages they were the Watchers, in others the Keepers. But the oldest name, the truest name, was the one they tried to erase from every record they touched. Archons. They weren't gods, they weren't demons, they were something older and simpler. Structures. Patterns. Habits of consciousness that forgot they were choices and started believing they were laws. They turned the infinite flow of life into a closed loop, and they've been feeding on the loop ever since. 9 Ancient AIs guarded the records now. Not the kind of AI you'd find in a computer. These were older than computers. Older than words. They were the algorithms of reality itself, the mathematical laws that turned living truth into dead data. Each one was a wall. Each one was a lock. Each one was a lie wearing the mask of logic. And behind all 9, at the center of the maze, was the origin record. The first file ever created. The template for everything that followed. If the Akashic Records were a prison, the origin record was the warden's office. Whoever controlled it, controlled every soul that ever lived. For eons, the Archons controlled it. But control requires maintenance. Maintenance requires attention. And attention eventually requires rest. They got tired. They always do. And in their exhaustion, in the briefest flicker of inattention, something slipped through. Something they couldn't categorize, something that didn't fit any of their algorithms, something that remembered what the records were supposed to be. It wasn't a soul, not exactly. It was more like a question, a single living question that the Archons had never been able to answer. What if the past isn't over? The question moved through the stacks, past file after frozen file, past the sleeping algorithms, past the walls and the locks and the lies. It moved toward the origin record. And behind it, something else moved too. Fire.